So I think it's now official and pretty much okay to say that Ryobi makes everything. I have a pool and I don't know what's going on this year, but I have been struggling keeping it clean. And I've been getting this weird, it's not soot, but it's like this brown, like real fine silt. And usually I'll vacuum out my pool a couple times a week, and I have to do it every single day because the buildup of this stuff has just been insane. I don't want to go out and spend like $1,000 on a robot vacuum. I know they're cool, it's a lot of freaking money. And believe you me, I ain't got that Bugatti money. So what I want to try is this. Now, I've seen the reviews online and they're saying this thing is pretty freaking good. This is the new Ryobi 18V pool vacuum. And I haven't researched it yet. I'm pretty sure that they had a first gen of this. I could be 100% wrong, which is weird because I never am. But either or, this is the new one. So we're gonna use and abuse, and I'm gonna test this thing out, and I'm gonna see what it can and what it can't do, the things that I love about it and the things that maybe I don't love about it. So let me go grab my Mountain Dew trunks. Not sponsored, just really love Mountain Dew. Yes, I know, I'm a child. All right, so how this thing works is actually really freaking simple. You know the pole that you have for your net and your other vacuum? Well, it's going to use that. And you can see that it just inserts over top of this right here. Now up on front, you have a clear piece of plastic. You're gonna be able to see the debris going up through. This is your catch bin and this is your filter over here. This is your release. This is your on and off button. You don't want to turn this thing on unless it's actually in the pool. And on the back right, hell, that's where your battery's gonna go. So let's open this up. Now let's do this one right here. So in here now, you can see I have the basic run-of-the-mill, the cheapest you can buy 4 amp hour battery from Ryobi. So I'm gonna switch this out with the Ryobi Edge, and basically just goes in like such, and you're just gonna boom, and that's it. And the reason I want to do this, I want to give this the best opportunity to shine because the Edge is the best. And you can put a 2, a 4, and a 6 amp hour in this, and it'll give you different run times. And you can see up on top, you do have that rubber seal, so when this is closed, you're not having to worry about the water getting in and destroying the battery. And as soon as that's in, you're just gonna close this up, lock it up. Easy peasy. Today is breezy. All right, real quick before I forget, you do have the rubber overmold up on top. The front here, this will adjust back and forth, so you're gonna be able to get into the different areas. And you also have the brushes going down on the bottom here, just like you would on your non-battery powered vacuum, you know, your $5 or $10. So you do have those. You also got a roller here and a roller here that'll help this thing glide a little bit better. And as mentioned, we took our pole, we threw it on real easy, and now you're able to use that as the vacuum and reach all the areas that you need to in the pool. So again, I don't know how well you can tell. Don't worry, we'll get the 360 camera, but I have this like soot-like stuff, this like fine dirt, the silt, all through the pool, like every single day. See it over there? That, my friends, that is not real nice-like. Look, all the way around the sides. All right, so as mentioned, this is pretty freaking easy to use. I got the pole hooked up, and we're gonna put this in and we're gonna turn it on. All right, so go ahead and put this in the water, and then once it gets in there, let it fill up a little bit. You can see the boobles. You don't wanna burn out your motor, so let this fill. All right, so now we have this thing completely filled up with water, and if you don't have this thing completely filled up with water, it's gonna wanna float on you. So when you first put it in, don't worry about it, just make sure that that fills up, and then it'll sink. You do feel a little bit of buoyancy with the air in the back where the battery is, but other than that, it's pretty good. All right, I'll let you hear this underwater here in a bit, but I want to point out a couple things that I really like about this, and then we'll point out a couple things that I don't really care about. So number one is you don't have to drag a hose around the pool. And that's one of my biggest issues is that I'm pulling the hose, I get it wrapped around me, it's awkward, then I accidentally pull it out of the pump and it screws up my suction, and it's just a real pain in the butt. Another thing is, even though it's not a big deal, is that all the stuff that I'm sucking up, like the bigger leaves and all that, it doesn't go into my filtration system. So it goes into this and I just dump that out. So that's a nice plus. Oh, and by the way, these 360 cameras, they suck. I watched so many reviews on them saying, these are the best things in the world. Look at the picture quality of this. Miserable, horrible. I'm sorry, I can do better. I will do better. Now it is pretty easy to push around. However, as I mentioned, when you pull back on it, there is a little bit of a buoyancy because of the air that's trapped in the case with that ray. Other than that though, it'll sink to the bottom and it does a pretty good job. I mean, it's not heavy at all. Anybody can use this, but you can see it's pulling up the leaves and the larger debris on the bottom and bringing it up into that canister. It's just like a dust buster, but it's for a pool and on a pole, and it works pretty good. That said, I do want to point one thing out, and it's a pretty important thing, is it's definitely not as powerful as your standard pool vacuum. You know, the cheap one you get, you got the hose and it goes into your pump, into your filter, and it pulls the stuff up. It's just not as powerful as that. It got some suction to it, and it does a great job. It pulls this stuff up and it goes into the case. It's just not as powerful, and I need to mention that. Basically what I'm saying is if you think this is gonna be like a shop vacuum, it's not going to be. It's a small vacuum that picks up small debris, and that's basically it. Now I'm gonna let you hear this real quick under the water, and it's gonna be louder than what it would be above the water, but this is what it sounds like. All right, so now I'm back out here and I got the regular camera, but you can see I'm not in the pool. You don't have to get in the pool. That's what's nice. You got a lot of reach with this, and let's see if we can get the middle of the nasty in that pool. And again, I'm gonna shut up. You're not gonna be able to hear this that much. You can hear a little rumble, but not much. I think the lawnmower that you hear a few houses up is way louder than the vacuum that's actually right in front of me. All right, so let's give you some specs on this. Rated for cleaning above ground and in-ground pools, so hot tubs, whatever. Ideal for picking up sand, dirt, leaves, and more. Water resistant up to 13 feet underwater with the IPX8 rating. They also state that the performance on this, you're looking at 13 gallons per minute when it comes to the suction. And you're looking at a pretty large tank on this at 1.7 liters on the tank capacity. So that's not bad for a pool vacuum. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this out and I'll show you what the filter and everything looks like on the inside. All right, we're gonna shut this off. Now, there's a couple different ways to do this. If you have that really fine sediment and all that, I would just take this all off and just dump it. And I'll show you that here in a second. But I do wanna show you sort of what this picked up. If you don't have that sediment, you just have like larger leaves and all that stuff, you could just let this drain back out into the pool if you wanted to. But what we're gonna do instead is we're just gonna take this off. So all I'm gonna do is do this, hit the button, that'll come off. You see this filter comes out like such. And that's gonna catch all your fine debris. You can see it's like dirty in there. Look at that, nasty. Not sure how well you can pick this up, but you can see the larger stuff is on the inside. So like stuff like this, like grass, leaves. It's just kind of floating around on the bottom. And you can just take this and dump it out. And on the inside of this, well, you have this flapper, so it's not gonna go back in. It's just gonna pull up through here and then up inside, and then it'll prevent it from going back inside the pool. And then all you need to do is take it, rinse out that nasty, like such, and it's clean and ready to go again. Or should I say, green to go. So what are my thoughts on this? Well, I like it. There's a lot of good things about it, and there's a couple things that, well, I gotta point out. So the first thing I like about it, it's compact. It's easy to store. You don't have to worry about not finding a place for this thing. It's basically a dust buster for your pool. Number two, the run hours on this thing are pretty freaking awesome. So a 2AH, you're gonna get 45 minutes. 4 amp hours, you're gonna get 90 minutes. And for a 6 amp hour, you're looking at 120 minutes of runtime on this vacuum. You can get multiple cleans with one battery charge, and you don't have to worry about running out mid-pool. Number three, it's super easy to use. Again, you got your filter, you got your collection system, and the main motor and unit over here, and you just put them together and go to town. I also love that you can use your existing pole. You don't have to go out and buy anything special. It just attaches right here. It's also super quiet. Definitely not as expensive as one of those robot vacs. Even though those are convenient, man, they are pricey. All right, so a couple of the downsides are, number one, they're out of stock during the time of this recording, which is kind of a bummer. I should have done this video a little sooner. I sat on it for a while. Can do better, I will do better. Number two, I do think that there's a little bit of buoyancy on this with that air trapped in the battery case. I can feel it wanting to rise up a little bit, but it's nothing major, and I haven't had too many issues with it. I just wanted to point that out. Number three, I do wish it was a little bit more powerful. I know compared to a regular pool vac, sometimes you just got so much suction on those things, and you're comparing to this and you're just not feeling it. I mean, it does a good job and it does pull up, but I do wish it was a little bit more powerful. So there you go. That's a new Ryobi 18V pool vac. I really want to know what you think. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Is this something you're thinking about getting and picking up? If not, if so, why? I love hearing that sweet feedback. If you like this video, check out this one right here. Back more videos soon.